Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Malachi here, and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, welcome to Out of the Groove. And in today's Out of the Groove video, we are going to be talking about yesterday's NASCAR Cup Series race at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So, yeah. If you hear, guys, before we get started, I'm sorry if in the background you hear either, bang. I'm sorry, but that is thunder. I'm just letting you know that is thunder, so it could just thunder. And also, if you hear a lot of weird, kind of weird, some drops, I'm sorry if you hear that noise in the background as well. That is rain, so, like I said, I'm sorry if you hear that noise in the background. Alright, now let's get on for today's video of Out of the Groove, talking about the New Hampshire Motor Speedway NASCAR Cup Series race yesterday. So, first, let's start, quote-unquote, start with our top finishers. So, our top finishers, pretend, I know I might not be there on the screen, because I don't know how to edit the video like that, so I'm sorry. Sorry. But it's pretend it's on there, okay? But if you want, you can just ignore that part of what I said. It's up to you. But okay. Okay, now let's get on to talking about the Cup Series of NASCAR race at New Hampshire yesterday for today's Out of the Groove video. So quote unquote, here's the top finishers. Brad Keselowski first, Danny Hamlin second. It's on. So, we saw some great racing yesterday. If you're wondering who my best picks to win the race, well, I picked 3 drivers. Well, I can still get out and pick 1 driver. So, my pick was my favorite driver of all time, my favorite driver, or whatever happened. To say my favorite driver, which is the 18 of Kyle Busch. That is what I picked to win at New Hampshire yesterday, and sadly that did not happen. But so I guess you could, but still, congratulations to the winner. But so we did see some great racing, like up to the first 15 laps, it was caution free. And then on lap 16, on lap 16, the first caution of the race came out. And if you're wondering why, it's my favorite it was the 18 of Kyle was my favorite driver. I don't know if he had a cut tire or a flat tire, but his day ended up in the garage and all race right there after he hit the wall. The good thing is he's okay, and I guess I was like, why, Kyle Busch? Why? I know it's racing, but still, you know what I mean? But it's like, we see some good racing, but yeah, sorry. Yeah, but like I said, we saw some great racing. But yeah, I forgot to mention. Hang on, let's pause that part of Out of the Groove video right now. Right now, if you're wondering why, never mind. um, you know, like we did see some good racing, and but with and if like I was so surprised. I was literally surprised that we I was surprised that they had fans in the stands. Like, why would you be racing with fans in attendance during a pandemic? That doesn't make any sense. Well, don't get me wrong. There is a maximum amount of people that are like, I think 25, 20, maybe 50%, but I'm pretty sure it was either 25 or 20% capacity. But yeah, I might be uploading another video. Actually, ignore that. Ignore that, please, if you want. But I recommend you, please ignore that. And well, the competition caution came out, and then we had a wreck that brought out another caution, third caution for a race, but second caution for a wreck. And that wreck was the 48 of Jim Johnson. Then we went back to racing. Well, back to green, I should say. And, well, we saw a lot of, like, wrecks and bringing a lot of cautions. It was basically a wreck fest. Had 11 cautions in a race, stuff like that. And, well, Denny Hamlin went on to win stage 1. Then Denny Hamlin, the Brad Keselowski. It was kind of a repeat of the end of the race at that track a season ago, but instead it was between the 2 and the 11. So the 2 of Keselowski and the 11 of Hamlin. Well, but instead it was for a stage 2 victory. And Brad Keselowski ended up being the stage 2 winner. And it was basically, near the end of the race, it was going to come down to, when it came down to decide the winner, it was going to be between Brad Keselowski in the 2 and Denny Hamlin in the 11. But we saw great racing. Literally great. I don't know. One part I really not liked about the race, and that was when my favorite driver, Cowboys, had to go to the garage and be out of the race after he wrecked out of the race by hitting the wall. I think it was like I said, either a cut tire or a flat tire. That was my disappointment part of the whole race, really. Yeah, and then we saw like caution after caution after caution the first few laps of the third and final stage. Oh, and I also forgot to mention that, like, sometime, I think it was like 16 or 17 laps into the second stage, well, caution came out and it was for rain. Of course, it has to be for rain. We had most of these races in the NASCAR season of 2020 has been affected either by a weather delay, if it's either for rain, thunder, or lightning. The weather issues during the weather delay have either just been just rain or lightning, or both rain and lightning. So, yeah. And we think that the big 3, remember the big 3 from the 2018 Cup Series of NASCAR season, the 2018 season, we had a big 3. That big 3 was the 18 of Kyle Busch, my favorite driver. And then, at the time, the 78 of Martin Truex Jr. And then the 4 of Kevin Harvick. There's really probably a big two last year, and that was big two. That was between the 11 of Denny Hamlin and the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. And this year, we think. Here, I'll tell you if we have a big three or not near the end of this video. And then, well, then once the caution wrecks didn't, or anything that would bring out a caution that didn't happen to bring out a caution, ever since we had that 11th caution that came out and had the 11th restart of the entire race, well, then then it was a long green flag run, and that long green flag run lasted until the end of the race at the checkered flag. But we did see some great racing, great racing, and and they were hyped, early, the channel was not on, maybe it was, but more than, let's forget about that part. But it was on the NBC, NBCSN was hyping up near the end of the race, near the checkered flag, that there was going to be some people running out of gas, for example, the leader. But that really didn't happen, because early in the broadcast they said, that's not going to happen. And it was a good race, really, to be honest. And then it got to the checkered flag, which was to end the race, and then the 2 of Brad Keselowski was the race winner. So it was a great race, a great race. So yeah, and then now like I said earlier in the video, I'm going to tell you about, is there a big three or not a big three? And your answer is yes, there is a big three. Well, at least according to NASCAR broadcasters, says they said there was a big three, and well, the big three is the 11 of Denny Hamlin, the 4 of Kevin Harvick, and yesterday's race winner, the 2 of Brad Keselowski. So that means the big three is back. We had the big three in 2018, had a big 2 in 2019, and this year in 2020, we have a big three. So the big three is back. So yeah, well, at least according to NASCAR, it is. Because I think near the end of the race, they mentioned that. So yeah, and that long green flag run, I was like, no way, because there's literally 11 cautions in this race. So yeah, and even though we basically had a rain delay during the race, so even though it was raining at the track, for some odd reason, they did not red flag it, but they did bring out the caution for it. So I still count that as a rain delay. So it's a quote-unquote rain delay. I guess you could. It's raining, so I guess it can count as a rain delay. But yeah, I'm going for some. Like I said, we saw some great racing. I was really hoping the race winner would have been the 18 of Kyle Busch, not the 2 of Brad Keselowski. But I guess it was. Kyle Busch was out of my favorite driver. The 18 of Kyle Busch was out of the race early after having a cut tire or a flat tire and moving up the track, and then hit the wall. So I was like, when we had that long reflex run, I was like, oh, I did not after there was a lot of cautions due to a wreck or maybe the rain or accident. Well, when we had that wreck flash bringing out a total of 11 cautions in the race. Some were for wrecks, some, I think probably most of them was for wrecks, but not really, I guess you could say. But yeah, after the 11th caution came out, and well, they didn't, and it went back to when they restarted, went back to green. Wasn't expecting that to happen, but yeah, I thought it was a great race. So, like Kyle was going into the race yesterday, he was only 100. He was above the cut line by 120 points to the good, and going out of New Hampshire, he is still above the cut line, but he is currently still, like I said, above the cut line, but 94 points to the good. He's sadly still winless in 2020. So, I think it's because of lack of practice and stuff, but yeah. So, I give this race on the quote-unquote groovy gauge, I give this race I give it 75%. Yeah, I give the race on the quote-unquote groovy gauge is 75%. So yeah, that's all I have for you for today's Out of the Groove video. So hopefully, I'll see you guys next time. Good.